Hello, everyone. All right. Apparently, I can stream to Instagram, which makes me happy. So let me hit go live over here on IG. One moment. Are we good? I think we're live. Okay. I think we're live. We're gonna do this. Amazing. So coming to you from snowy, covered in snow, Maine. I'm looking at a huge snowbank outside my house right now. So this is definitely the quintessential Maine experience and our first winter here, which is really fun. But that's not why I'm coming to you today. I am coming to you because there are two huge things which I'm so excited to share about. One of which has been in the works for almost a year and a half now, I want to say. And the other one, not as much, but both equally exciting and important. And so I'd say the first and the biggest announcement is our book is out. Today is launch day. It is kind of surreal for any of you who have written a book, and you can pop a comment, let me know if you're an author as well. Uh, it's a very surreal feeling the day the book is actually out in the world, and it's very cool. And I woke up this morning and I was like doing the things and doing my normal spiritual routine. I was like, it's book day. It's also, yes, and it's also book day. So if you have not been following along on the journey, Permission to Be Powerful is a book that I co authored with an incredible group of my clients here at She Sells. So, some of our mastermind members, some of my private clients, some of our 10K club members, and the backstory behind it. So it's all about the kind of the bottom line is it's all about stepping into your own personal power and the realization that happens in your life when you realize that whatever the goal is that you think is bigger than you or impossible for you, when you just realize like no one is coming to give you permission, no one is coming to tell you it's time, no one is coming to tell you you're good enough, and you stop waiting for someone outside of you to come tell you it's time or you're good enough or it's possible, and you just give yourself permission to be in your own power. So I'll share a little bit more about that and my own journey there, and some takeaways for you momentarily. But the way the book came about too was really, really cool. And it's a testament to giving yourself permission to be powerful. So, one of our original mastermind members is a woman named Michelle. And what's so funny and fun too is today is her birthday. So, Michelle Fishering, shout out to you if you happen to be watching this. You're amazing. She was one of our original mastermind members of the 50K Club several years ago. And when she came in, and Michelle, I hope it's okay. You've shared this publicly, so I hope it's okay for me to share this here too. But I just think your story is so powerful. When she came into our program and our community, she was doing consulting work and realized there was a much greater calling for her life. Like, wasn't 100% crystal clear on what that was at the start. But shortly after she graduated the mastermind, she stepped into her full calling and actually went out and launched a publishing house, Chambray Blue Press. I said it right, which is awesome. Um, and became a book publisher. And when I saw her do that, I was like, you're incredible. This is awesome. I mean, what a powerhouse move to just go do it, because you think about of all the things where we could say, I'm not qualified or I have to know more or do this or do that. Like, she just went and did it. And I think it's so inspiring. And so I knew, now I've got a lot of books in me and I'm already working on the second as we go, but I knew that I wanted to write a book. And for this first one, it felt so exciting. Actually, Michelle introduced this concept, which I thought was so brilliant, coming together for a group of of women or mastermind, it doesn't have to be women, but mastermind members, whoever, who want to put together a collective anthology around a topic and providing publishing support for them. And so I said, we're going to do that with our She Sells community. And so we've got a group of the most amazing women who are all featured authors in this book. I'm one of the authors. And we've got a whole group of women who have come together around this. And by the way, if you're watching this and you are one of the authors, comment your name below. If you happen to see this, comment your name, your social handles, so people can go follow you and connect with you as well. And every woman is in there sharing her personal story of that a moment when she stepped into her full power and gave herself permission to be fully powerful. And so the whole dynamic in my life shifted when I noticed, and this was not even that long ago. This was a little more than 3 years ago now, so not even that long ago, how I had built a life and a career that was like really good, but it wasn't the magnitude that I was desiring. It wasn't the impact I was desiring. It wasn't the level of abundance I was desiring. It wasn't the level of contribution that I knew I was capable of. And I also became present to and aware of the fact that, and this was subconscious, it's always subconscious. I was I was looking for validation and seeking validation outside of me for someone to come tell me I could build and launch a big company that's going to impact the world, or I could write a book, or I could speak on the bigger stages, do the bigger things, make the money I wanted to make. And a lot of that was precipitated by a book as well. So Bronnie Ware's Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. It's so funny. I had a podcast interview with Julie Ciardi last week. She's incredible too. And she and I were both talking about how that book radically transformed our lives. So if you haven't read it, go read it. It's not a book I'm here to talk about today necessarily, but it's an amazing read. It'll change your life. And so reading that book too, I was just like, man, I am giving my power away, looking to other people to come tell me that I'm good enough and come tell me I'm valid and worthy and that I can have what I want and be what I want and do what I want. And just made a decision, didn't really know what it would entail, had no idea the journey it would take us on, how it would transform life for myself, my husband. Our first son, Jack, was 4 months old at the time. Now we got two. He's 3.5, and our little guy, Luke, is 10 months. Had no idea the domino effect that would happen from that decision. And I talk about what happened in the book and my experience. And there was a lot of things I did at the time that most people would probably say, oh, that's really risky, or that was a scary choice. And there was a lot of fear involved in the actions that I took at the time, and some of the actions I took at the time. But it was a dissolution of the old self and a stepping into and a decision to embody the fullness of who I am. And I didn't even know who that was at the time. I just knew she was living life a lot bigger than I was. She was a lot more unapologetic than I was. She was a lot more visible, impactful. She spoke up a lot more than I did at the time. And I made a decision. And so that's part of my story. And I share it in the book, and I share the takeaways for you of how you can give yourself whatever it looks like, whatever the permission you need to step into your full power, and how to implement that same type of energy to make a real quantum leap in your life, whether that's you want to get unstuck financially and go to the next level, whether it's like you're living like I was and you're like, you know what, life is really good, but it's not, oh my gosh, great. Like I'm kind of checking the box here. And I'm wanting something greater and more fulfilling and more impactful and more satisfying than checking the box. So whether you're there, whether you're in a super low point in your life and you're like, it can't get any worse, uh, It'll tell you what to do. If you're in a high and you think, I can't imagine it being better, it's going to help you open up another level and access another level of potential and possibility in your life that you have not let yourself be present to yet. So, wherever you are on your journey with that, it's going to help you elevate. And then the stories from the other women, the other authors in the book, what's cool about it is every woman is different. Every woman has a unique perspective, and you're going to read things in the stories where you're like, this woman thinks differently about this than that one. But what's beautiful about it is every woman in her own way has given herself permission to be powerful, and you can read them and you'll resonate. You'll find stories where you're like, I really resonate with that. And I want to lean into her energy and what she's teaching me and what she's sharing through this story, so that I can have my own quantum leap experience. So, man, what else is there? It's just really beautiful, and it's an exciting day. And I ordered my own book off Amazon today. I don't First time author. I don't know. Do we do that? Obviously, you get author copies as well. But I was like, this is really fun to go like order my own book. So it's been a really beautiful experience. I think you'll love the book. I think you'll benefit tremendously from reading it. It's called Permission to Be Powerful. You can go find it on Amazon. If you search my name, you'll see it. You'll see the other authors, too many authors listed. um, to like go through every woman, but you'll if you happen to know someone who is a contributing author, you can search her name. It'll show up as well. But Permission to Be Powerful, you search my name, you'll find it. Also, elisearcher.com/book. You can go order it through that page as well. And I'd be super honored for you to order a copy, share a copy with someone in your life who you know is ready to really elevate and quantum leap. And also get one for yourself and highlight and underline the parts of the stories where you notice an energy, a decision, an embodiment that a woman is demonstrating that you want to start practicing and living into and incorporating in your life. So this is really fun, and I love being an author. Like I said, there's so much more flowing through me right now. So there's going to be more coming too. I think other authors can maybe relate to this, where like you write something and then you're like, oh, but here's the second and the third and the fourth, and I've got 5 books in me or whatever the number is. But it's really beautiful, and it's an exciting day and an exciting moment. And I'd be super honored if you got a copy. And I think you'll also I think you'll shift quite a bit from what you read in there as well. So um, when you get it, take a picture, tag me, tag the other authors, hashtag Permission to Be Powerful book. Um, and it's super exciting. So shout out to every woman who's been involved. Shout out to our publisher, Michelle, her birthday today. Again, it's just so cool. So that's the biggest announcement. It feels so quiet here right now. By the way, both the boys are out of the house, and I haven't had them both out of the house for the week, and it feels really quiet here right now. But no time like now for a live stream when it's not. There are monster trucks lined up behind me. I'll just take a minute out of the all the feels of the book to acknowledge the obvious. If you're looking, that yes, there's a row of monster trucks lined up behind me. Our oldest is, before he goes to school in the mornings, he likes to play monster trucks. And lately, it's 111, that's fun. Lately, he wants to line them up in a specific pattern before he leaves, and he expects them back in that pattern before he comes home, when he comes home, so he can pick up where he left off. And he's very excited to see them that way. So if I ever have to move them, if he ever watches this, he'll laugh when he's older. I take a picture of how they're arranged so that I can put them back in place before I go get him. But that's only been like once or twice that I've had something where like, yeah, I should probably move the monster trucks. So anyway, they're here today. They're part of the launch. All right. Part 2, second exciting announcement. We have our first live event of 2024 coming up next week. And I haven't done one since I think late October. It was so good to, when we moved at the end of last summer and like got settled and got in this new home and got situated and finally felt organized after having moved so much over the past few years. Um, from that place of being settled, I started having so much new content flow through, so many new ideas flow through, so many inspirations flow through. Um, and we put on two, I think, really powerful live events at the end of last year, September and October. But then I just wanted a bit of a breather over the holidays for myself, for my team. And so my team and I, we're back and we have a really, really incredible free live event coming up next week on Monday and Tuesday. So if you're watching this in real time, that is Monday, January 22nd and Tuesday, January 23rd, called Elevate 2024. So I'll share with you a little bit about what it's about, how you can know if it's for you. Uh, yeah, so it's funny. I was talking to my bookkeeper a couple of weeks ago, and she said something that made me laugh. And she was like, I'm talking to a lot of clients right now who are like, I'm really glad to be done with a prime year. And I said, what is a prime year? She's like, a prime number, at least classic bookkeeper, right? Like a prime number, 2023. And I thought, oh, okay, I get it. So 2023 was a prime year for many of us. I had so many mountaintop, I don't know about you, but I had so many huge mountaintop moments. And there was also a lot of growth. Whew, it was a lot of growth. And what I am what I'm feeling right now energetically in my own life and then also for my clients and our community is this next step of taking everything that we learned and assimilated, or with everything we learned from 2023 and assimilate it. And whether what you feel like you learned in 2023 was like, whether it felt like a really light, easy, fun year for you, or whether it felt like refinement through the fire and some big challenges that are, by the way, are always designed to help you grow. Um, to now take what happened and what we learned and use it to elevate and ascend this year. And I'm feeling this. I'm feeling lighter energy, which feels really good because it was a pretty intense feeling year in a lot of ways. I know there's going to be more that comes this year that helps me grow, and I know that for all of us, right? Because that's what life is about. But when I think about elevation and what I'm going to be teaching at this event, it to me, I almost see it like a rocket ship taking off and dropping the what are they, the rocket boosters or a hot air balloon, dropping the sandbags. I think these are correct analogies that I'm using here. Um, taking and by the way, I can't see comments right now. I don't know what's up with my streaming software, but if you're commenting, hi, I'm so glad you're here. I just can't see you. And I will check comments afterwards. You can DM me or comment on anything that resonates with you with this. Um, but when I think about elevation, it's that type of energy where whatever the things were that helped you grow in 2023, they're all opportunities to uncover old limiting beliefs, old patterns. It can be unworthiness, it can be not enoughness, it can be blocks to receiving, it can be fear of visibility. All of these, whatever these things are that we have conditioned patterns around. And the path to elevation is not about more of the same typically, or just grinding harder, or things that feel heavier. In fact, that's a path to the opposite. The path to elevation is about a releasing. It's about what am I going to drop? It's about what old ways of being am I no longer going to embody? It's about what old thought patterns did I get mirrored back to me last year that it's just time to be done with. It's about what old stories am I going to stop telling myself about why I can't perform at this level, succeed at this level, make that money, work with those types of clients, have that lifestyle. And from a release, we're lighter and we can rise up and we can ascend and we can either float, we can rocket ship. Sometimes the energy is different depending on how much you let go of and how fast. Never thought about it that way before, but it's true. And so that's what next week is going to be about. So if you are really ready to elevate this year, and if you know, when I teach, if you've been part of the community for any amount of time, and by the way, if you haven't, welcome. um, sales is a core piece of it. I also think of it as the Trojan horse of our brand and methodology, because what I've really seen transform my clients' results in sales is it's not just a different tactic or strategy or method, although that's a piece of it. It's the inner transformation when they do the mindset rewiring, when they build and live into the identity of the version of them who has their goals accomplished, when they elevate their financial frequency to get in alignment with $25,000 months, $50,000 months, $100,000 months, $200,000 months, whatever the goal is, whether they're an entrepreneur or a sales professional, when they learn how to integrate both the doing energy of the masculine as well as the being energy of the feminine, they learn how to kind of do that dance and that balance and get out of burnout and hustle and overwhelm, and instead into a place of beingness and embodiment where they are taking action, but it doesn't feel like a push or a force or a slog. And instead it feels exciting and like there's momentum and growth. So we teach all of that. I'm going to teach all of that, but through a different lens. Every time I teach live, it's different. Every time I teach live, there's new concepts that show up. We're going to have some time on day 2 for live coaching and integration with me as well. So that's EliseArcher.com/elevate2024. If you're watching this on Instagram, the link both for this and for the book should be in my bio. And I think that's it. So I'd love to have you there as well. It's 12 to 2 Eastern both days. If you are not going to be able to join live, you will get the replay, but you need to register to get the replay and join live, because people who join live always get the most results. And also, I would just encourage you. I was coaching my mastermind on this morning, living from the end result. What does the version of you who really elevated this year, what do they do? Do they show up live or do they catch a replay, right? Do what you need to do, but be there live if you want greatest impact and if you want the opportunity for integration and coaching and application of what we're teaching and talking about. I think that's everything. I think that's everything. New book is out, Permission to Be Powerful. Would be so honored if you went and got yourself a copy, buy a copy for a friend. EliseArcher.com/book. And then our event coming up next week, EliseArcher.com/elevate2024. DM me if you have questions on anything we spoke about today. I'm always honored when you share, when you feel called to share the content, the material we put out with your network and your community. If there's any way I can help support you, send me a note on that as well. And I will see you real soon. Bye for now.